Hello, everybody. Today is going to be the first of many videos that I do introducing myself in the world to AllFantasy.AI. A little bit about myself. I am originally from New York, BX stand up, and I currently still live on the East Coast somewhere in New Jersey. I have a loving wife, two beautiful children, and I'm currently getting my master's in cybersecurity. I will graduate sometime this year, and then after that, who knows? The reason that I built a fantasy sports app is because I've been playing fantasy sports since I was about 13 years old, back when the internet was first born, and not to age myself out, but I've always loved fantasy sports. It made me feel like I was a part of the game, like I was making decisions. I know I wasn't, and there's plenty of you out there that yell at your screen during your team's games and believe you're doing something, as do I. But at the end of the day, fantasy sports was a part of my life. The more I got into fantasy sports, the more I enjoyed it. I started out on ESPN, then I was on Yahoo, did a little Underdog, some DraftKings, FanDuel. About 6 years ago, I got into the Sleeper app, and that's the main one that I use today. My love for fantasy sports came from my love for sports. I used to play football, basketball, baseball, a little bit of soccer, ran track. And after my years of playing fantasy sports were over, I didn't have any sports to do. All I did was work. So this kept me connected to fantasy sports, or to sports in general. So I have been a commissioner of leagues for many, many years. Again, I've been playing on Sleeper for 6 years, and I've been a commissioner on Sleeper for 6 years plus whatever on ESPN, Yahoo. And so the one thing that I've learned from other commissioners is commissioning is a lot of work. And if you've ever commissioned your own league, you will know this. Being a commissioner of a league is a lot of work. It's painstaking hours. It's making sure there's no collusion. It's keeping everybody from cursing each other out. It's keeping up the draft dates, sending out the notifications if it's a paid league, keeping everybody paid and up to date, replacing orphans, maybe a supplemental draft. It's a lot of work. Most, if not all, fantasy sports apps and sites try to focus on the single user. They want to make the single user's experience fun and happy. And my app strives to do the same. The difference, though, is my app strives to do the same for the commissioners as well. Commissioner frustration is real. For those of you that create your own leagues, like a person that I'm in, that I've joined many of their leagues, like a King Buffalo on Sleeper. He runs a tournament. He had a Survivor League. He has a King Buffalo, like a league where you basically are your own franchise owner, which is like Dynasty, but it's specific rules. I won't get into that. I'll get into that another day. And another commissioner, as in Zoo Commish, who used to run a zombie league, a zombie universe league. And speaking to them over the last couple of years, they enjoyed creating these leagues, these new formats, these new concepts. But it took so many hours out of the day to run these leagues, to run these different gamuts and universes, that they didn't have time to fully enjoy the leagues themselves. I've run leagues before guillotine leagues were the biggest thing in the world. Before they started instituting guillotine leagues and rules, going in every day going in on a Tuesday after the fantasy football week has ended, and removing a manager, and then dropping each singular player or each team's players to waivers. It was painstaking, especially if you're running 4 or 5 different guillotine leagues, on top of running your dynasty league, on top of running your regular redraft league. Knowing the pain that a commissioner goes through and the frustration that a commissioner goes through, I don't want to only worry about the one singular user. I want to help the commissioner's life become not easy, but more manageable. Because a commissioner is devoted to their league, especially if it's a league that a concept they created, their own rules, their own scoring. And in the end, you want to have fun with something that you create. You want to have fun and enjoy it. And you want to enjoy the other things outside of just doing that for hours, painstaking hours. And that'll take you away from your trade value charts that you create, or waiver wire pickups, or just setting your lineup. So from one commissioner to another, or potential commissioners, or ex-commissioners, all fantasy's goal is to try to make your life more manageable and less frustrating. The full-on vision is to create a community. Now, it's more of a front-facing thing now, but it's still niche to say you play fantasy sports, unless you're in the fantasy sports community. I want to bring that niche, bring that community, the people that actually love fantasy sports, the people that want to improve it, the people that believe that it can be something that's not just done and your family looks at you like, why are you wasting 6 hours in a day on a Sunday morning looking at your fantasy lineup and setting it and looking at waivers before the games start, and then constantly checking your phone to see who scored. I want you to be able to tell your stories without feeling judged or feeling like people are mislabeling what fantasy sports is. In the end, my vision is basically to create a community of like-minded people. You don't always have to get along, because not a lot of people do. But the focus isn't going to be on politics. It's not going to be on crime. It's not going to be on the weather, unless it has to do with the game. It's going to be on fantasy sports. So right now, I've went to different companies to try to get this built. And over that time period, have come up with responses that were not great, to the point where we got to the contract and they didn't want to agree to not take and steal my idea. So I've had to walk away from the table, and I've had to try to build this on my own. I taught myself how to code. I taught myself how to set everything up, what programs to add, what apps to add, everything on my own. Marketing, programming, testing, everything is done by me with the help of my beautiful wife and one of my friends. In the end, this at launch is not going to be a perfect product, but it will be my product. It will be something that I believe in. It will be something that I know people will understand and will help me grow because it's not for me, it's for the people. And unlike many of these sites that are juggernauts that have been out for years, again, your ESPNs, your Yahoos, your sleepers, the goal isn't to take advantage. Now, I'm not saying that is for them. I'm just saying the goal isn't to sit around and just not make changes. The goal is to build this community and to listen to the community and try to grow with the community, because as things change, fantasy sports is not static. It expands, it contrasts, and it grows. So as things change, the goal is for me to change with it, for me to understand it, for me to be on your side more than I am on my own. And that's how I live my life as a commissioner. One caveat: All Fantasy is not a gambling app. We do not promote gambling. We do not sell gambling. We do not do any of those things. We are strictly fantasy sports. Right now, I am currently building out the NFL and the college football season, hopefully to be ready by the beginning of August. And this includes redraft, dynasty, C2C, Devi, and a bunch of other different concept leagues. After that, I will concentrate on the MLB playoff bracket. I will build out the NBA and NHL seasons, then the college football bracket, then the NFL playoff bracket, moving on to soccer and MLB at some point. All I ask is for your assistance in testing. When the app launches, go in, test. Tell me what's broken. Tell me what works. Tell me what doesn't work. Tell me if it's perfect. Tell me if you think I need to add a setting or feature. I can't guarantee that the setting or feature that you want to add will be done within the time frame that you expect. But I will tell you I will be listening and trying my hardest to put out a product that not only makes myself proud, but makes this community proud. Above all things, again, it's not about my vision, it's about the community's vision as a whole. So I will look toward the future, understand my past, and build everything with the idea of unification. If you have any questions, if you want to reach out, I'm on socials, X, Instagram, and on, what's the last one? TikTok. I also have a Facebook page. It's All Fantasy Sports App, or AF Sports App. You can also reach out to me on my email, my work email for All Fantasy, which is allfantasysportsapp@gmail.com. Please, just have an open heart. I believe in me. This has been a long journey. My family believes in me. And I hope that you will give me the chance to prove that you can believe in me too. Thank you. This is going to be the first of many of these, maybe every other day, just to give updates of what I built and what's coming down the chute and how close I am. If you would like to offer any assistance in helping me come up with ideas for marketing, or help, somebody that has just graduated from school, knowing how to code, UI, UX, I'm open to having a discussion. And I mean, I don't have much money. Everything is bootstrapped to whatever extra funds that I have. Again, I'm coding this myself, but I'm open to a conversation. So please reach out to me at allfantasysportsapp@gmail.com. Thank you. See you in a day or two, and I hope you have a great day.